kind of like a fetish thing, like foot kink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shame.
Okay. So welcome if anyone's watching. And if not, that's okay too. I thought it Okay. So we are meeting today in real life. And
IRL, if you will.
IRL. And even though I spent the last 2 days setting this up, my office, you should see it. It is a mess. I pulled out all of the cords and all of the things. I have my dock out here. I had to buy 2 new microphones because I knew that if I just had you guys bring them over, we'd have been doing this for 2 days instead of actually recording.
Yeah.
So I got 2 more microphones. It was, Prime Day. So they were
Good.
Anyway.
Have I ever asked you if it's weird to do the mouse with your right hand and not your left? Because you're left-handed.
No, because I'm ambidextrous.
Okay.
I do both.
Okay.
I throw with my right. I cut with my right.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Jordan, we're trying to teach him how to cut. And so he switches between hands.
He'll probably end up like that. He's a lefty when he writes, right?
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't, I'm 99% sure he's ADHD. So he doesn't have the attention span to color. But when he does color, he even switches with his hands.
While he's coloring, he'll do both?
Yep. While he's coloring, he switches.
Yep.
So, but he sucks his left thumb. So I don't know what that means, but.
Does he, if he throws something, does he throw?
Switch.
Oh.
He'll switch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to bowl with my left, and that did not go well. I'm not a great bowler anyway, but it just immediately goes to the gutter.
That's really interesting.
I do almost everything with my right except writing. Right. And that feels like my dominant side.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like if I'm going to reach for something, I'm probably going to reach with my left. I pick up the phone with my left. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. My brain's goofy.
Anyways, I didn't mean to get us on a weird
I was going to say,
this whole thing's a tangent.
When we did in sports and stuff, whenever you needed to figure out what is your dominant leg for jumping or for doing layups or starting out of blocks, literally we'd have you stand still, and then one of us would give you a push on the shoulders to see which foot stepped forward.
Oh.
So then whichever foot you catch yourself with is typically your dominant foot or your push off foot. So the foot that
that you step forward with would not be your dominant. It would be
it's your driving foot.
Oh, okay.
So if when I get pushed, it's my left leg. So when I do, because I'm a right-handed layup, so I would jump off my left foot when I go up. If I do out of the blocks for sprinting or stuff, not that I would do that anymore, but it was always my left foot forward.
Okay.
And so it would be the push where your right leg comes up on the drive. And a lot of people are opposite, where their right leg is forward and their left leg is the drive. So
yeah, I'm really interested to see what he is, because he switches.
Go push Jordan when you get home. Okay, see what he does.
All right, it's fine.
You don't topple anybody over.
just have John stand on the other side with his arms out. Or let John push him.
Just put some pillows down.
Yeah.
It'll be.
Tell him we're gonna try something fun.
Yeah. He'll be like, again, and then we'll be doing that for 45 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I tell John, I'm like, whatever you plan to do to him, make sure you want to do it for 45 minutes to an hour.
That's Gracie.
Because you can't just do it once and be like, okay. And he'll be like, that was really fun, Dad, but we'll stop now.
Yeah, no.
Again. Yeah.
That's what Gracie's like. Don't throw a ball. You're going to be doing it all day.
Oh, I know with Gracie. You throw it once and she's like, oh my God, you're my new target. Yeah. And then she's by you for 6 hours.
She does not tire.
You're like,
you will get tired before she does.
Yes.
And she's the one running. Too.
And how old is she? She's older too.
She's 13.
Yeah. You do not. I would not believe she's an elderly dog.
The vet can't believe she's 13, but I swear to God, I have pictures of her from when we were, disconnected.
Great.
I have pictures of her from when.
Not on over there anymore.
When she was 13 years ago, pictures of her. Okay.
Did you get her as a puppy?
Yep. All right. I think the recording is going to go. It says OBS disconnected and is reconnecting. So I'm just going to
keep going.
Keep going.
Okay.
Okay. So we were just talking about the dogs.
I can't imagine Digby running and playing like a puppy. I feel like he's always just been distinguished.
He's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he does play. He plays when you get him a squeaky toy.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be going on for
thank God that's not annoying.
Yeah. That goes on for a really long time.
Bodie likes to roll on his back with his toys a little bit. Briggs used to do that all the time too. And I love when Bodie gets going and play. And he's 12 and a half as well. And he'll just start and he'll just be like flipping it. And then he'll roll on his back and then he'll kind of scratch his head and muzzle and everything. It's so funny. He's just a happy dog.
There's a dog I see on, I don't know, TikTok, Instagram, something like that I see all the time, that he has his little toys, his babies that he loves, and he lays on his back and goes and holds them up over his head and just stares at him. And then he'll bring him down and look at him and then put him back up. It's so cute. All right. Part of why we're here is we all have birthdays this week and next week.
Happy birthday to
And
us.
so mine's already passed, but we all have little gifties
Yes.
for each other.
Yes.
So we were going to do that. Do we want to open them on camera?
I think
Sure.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Who wants to?
Let's start. Just go this way. So Amy first.
Okay.
And then
You guys need to open yours from mine together.
Okay.
All right.
Should we just do that then?
Yep, there's one thing that's fragile, so just be wary.
This-
Notice
look
I
at
gave you the
how
spider bag.
Cute. This
Thank you.
bag is. That is so
There's
cute.
a bit of a theme.
Am I going in the right order?
Yeah, the order doesn't matter. Just
Oh, cute. Glow in the dark
Oh my God,
socks.
I was hoping it was socks. I love socks. Do you have bones?
I have spiders.
Thank God.
so see, she has a skeleton. You have the spider web, so I opposite the
Oh,
socks.
I see. Okay. Well, Megan, if you want to borrow these or.
I'm good, thanks. Thank you.
Megan's not a fan of spiders,
Very
if you don't
sweet
already
of
know.
you to
All right.
offer. Oh my God, it's a kitty.
Oh. Hold it up so the.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Hang on. Oh my God.
A little ghosty. And she's got a kitty here. Can I
I'm
pull-
gonna name him
Can I hold it
Bob.
closer? Bob. Oops, I keep thinking that at the camera.
He has the feel of a Bob.
Sure.
Oh, that's so cute.
I think you gave us these cocos last year too, and I loved them. I love these cocos.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay, it's a good night for it. It's fucking
It
cold
is.
today.
it's chilly. We're finally into.
Amy didn't get the flannel memo.
No, I didn't. I was wearing a Halloween sweater, but I got sweaty because I was getting pissed off at Twitch.
Yeah.
And then I got all sweaty. So I took it off.
That's
But I
just
am wearing
Halloween.
my Happy Halloween
Nice.
shirt, which I might have to get a wine pretty soon.
Do it.
It's always wine o'clock.
I think so.
This is really
My liver will support you for a while. So yeah, this was just like gauze that you would use for spider web or anything, and so I just
Well, that's so you've given us
don't say anything yet.
decorations too. Oh,
So this is the one that I was like,
I
oh
know what
shit,
that
did
is.
Amy get this already? So
I don't
Oh.
think she did.
yep. No, I did not.
okay, because I
do
remember
not have this.
on the way here, I was like, oh crap, I know she sent us a picture or like a link
I
to
It's
did.
this.
Amy. Don't you love Amy?
Yes.
It's Amy Bruni.
It's Amy
Yeah, it's
Bruni.
Amy Bruni. I did post about this when she first released it. Actually, it was before she released it. She was doing pre-orders, and I did post about it and posted a link to it so that people could go
What I
buy it.
opened to.
And it's in
Uh-huh.
it's in our store. So if anybody wants to buy this, go to collectedsounds.com/store.
I just
and you'll
love-
find a link.
And
to
if you
this.
go to the back, you'll find the recipes that are in there. So it's stories from haunted
Oh, okay.
areas, and it has recipes.
Oh,
so you can
yeah.
find, so you can see your recipe like types
Oh,
that are in there
yeah.
by course. So
Cool.
yeah, this was
Ghost Bride Martini.
Yep. Amy was feeling sorry for herself, and one night after a cousin canceled plans and was
Oh.
drinking wine on the couch, and I ordered myself paint by numbers, and you guys, I saw these books come up, and I was like, done, both.
Nice, thank
Can we
you.
just take a minute to smell it?
and I know I love the smell of books.
Love the smell of books.
I know. I do a lot of Kindle books, but recently I got a real book, and it was so cool to just sit and like fold the cover. Thank you, and
Yeah.
thank you to
Thank
AP's
you.
friend who canceled on her last
Yes.
minute because we would probably have these otherwise.
Yeah, I would have maybe found them another way, but it would definitely all happened at one point, and I was like, well done. Now I've got that shopping done.
Thank you.
Very cute. Thank you, Amy.
Yes, and then I figured those are reusable bags for.
Yes, they're adorable. Mine's just sitting on the floor because I was trying to. Oh, probably should have closed that. It probably won't catch
Hey,
it.
Janet.
Hey, Janet.
That's not even Janet though. Well,
Hey, girl.
that's the
Janet too.
that's the Brinks
Okay.
security. All right. Do you guys want to open?
AP can go next.
Oh, okay.
To my opening.
Oh, from you. Yeah.
Whichever, whoever.
Okay.
We're just gonna
What's
go in
front of me
order.
here?
I I was very lazy and I didn't feel like going to look for the tape, so I used a glue stick.
Hey, nice.
It works.
That works.
It does. Megan, yours is a little bit more scrappy than the because yours is a weird shape.
I didn't want to say anything.
I love that.
So this is a little bit of a spoiler alert for an episode that hasn't come out yet, but I just finished.
That's really funny.
It's a puzzle for Atlantis, a picture of Atlantis,
Yes.
because spoiler here, when we met with Jenny last week, she told us that, well, we already knew, she'd already told us that we've been many lifetimes together, but she said we go all the way back to Atlantis.
Yes,
Which is a real city, or was a real city.
Yeah, well, I asked Greg about, because I didn't really know that much about Atlantis. I just thought it was always an underground city. Like people just walked around, swam around or whatever. And so I said, well, what do you know about Atlantis? Because I looked up some stuff and I found some shows I'm going to watch and all that. But he's like, oh, well, it's not real. First thing he says, well, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh my gosh.
amalgam.
That is the fanciest puzzle box I've ever seen.
These puzzle pieces too. Yep, the good feeling of a good crisp puzzle.
Yeah.
Not these flimsy.
Well, I have some
Puzzle
puzzles
pieces.
that they don't even interlock.
Or
And if you
some of-
blow on them, they all move.
Yeah,
They
or
don't.
some
They
of
just
them,
sit next to each other.
The cardboard is so thin and it separates from because they didn't punch them all the way through when they cut them, and so then you get the edge of the picture coming off of it. That's really
Yeah. Yeah.
We're puzzle snobs here.
Yeah. Well, Amy and I have been trading puzzles back and forth for the last several months.
I just brought her back too, which were some of the most difficult puzzle pieces because they were all similarly colored and then rounded edges, and some of them had a square edge, but it was just off of straight.
So you think it was an edge and it's not?
So you think it's an edge, but it's not.
Yep.
And it has pieces that look like a string bean because it's just a long piece that fits in with one little nub.
I don't even remember what puzzles I gave you this last time, but that one that I had sitting up here for 6 months, I almost just threw it across the room.
Which puzzle was that?
It was an autumn canal, and it looked like a water canal in Amsterdam or something with the leaves changing, and of course everything's gold and red, and
Of course.
Yep.
and then there's water, so everything is reflected into the water, the same colors, and it was nearly impossible to do. And Greg ended up doing it.
Yeah,
he did a lot more than I did. I did the edges. That's about it.
These ones were the ones from the 80s that you guys had gotten from thrift store or somewhere else.
Oh, are they the ones that have a puzzle within the puzzle?
Yes, the riddles within the puzzles. Yep.
So the pictures you put together, and then you have to figure out what this is a idiom of, and it's a picture of something, and then I can't really explain it other than that, but yeah.
Yep. They were fun. They were just phew.
Well, if you want the autumn canal one, you can have it, Megan, if you wanted to.
I don't by numbers yet.
Yeah, okay. I don't think of you, Megan, for puzzles because you have cats. And I could never do puzzles when I had cats.
It's not really the cats that we got to worry about. It's the toddler that we
okay. It's in a Ziploc bag. It's a bag in a bag, if you will.
Oh my God.
It's Twilight.
She never stops talking about it.
I know. And when I was looking for stuff for you guys, it was right after we had been talking, and she was like, you were talking about your trip, which we're going to hear about in a bit. And she was like, are you going to where Twilight was filmed?
And then AP looked at me with disgust. And I said, how dare you?
How dare.
My inside face often walks on the outside.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
OMG. This is, oh my God, the prom.
This is making an appearance in several future episodes we record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the golden onion from when they were in class.
She could hang it on the wall behind her.
Probably.
And then I have two. I still have to open.
Thank you. Oh my God, this is perfect.
And these aren't really gifts. These are, and I already told you about them. These are things I bought for myself, and then I decided I didn't need. This is sunglasses that connect to Bluetooth.
Oh.
So you can talk on the phone and listen to music on your sunglasses.
Oh my God.
And then this is a smartwatch that I bought to replace my other one like this, but it's different. It has a different app than the one I'm used to, and I didn't like it as well. And so I just went and bought myself another one.
There you go.
So you guys can either
I'll take the smartwatch.
I was gonna say I have
I
a
don't
watch.
have-
Yeah, I thought you did. That's why I thought those would be
Sure.
better for you.
And I don't.
And those are fun. I put them on and they were cool, but I'm
Why
like,
didn't you
I don't.
like 'em?
I have glasses. I
Yeah.
can't wear sunglasses. Got the charger. And
AP over here with her 20/20 vision.
Hey, I got these suckers fixed a few years ago.
yeah. Oh, they're cute.
Those are cute.
I'm not taking them off now.
Okay, and
It's a
then
different
And
color.
then
we
where
got to
did she-
open
that I
like
have. Yes.
This is a Modge Podge from the TikTok shop, so I'm very sorry.
what is that? I buy stuff from the TikTok shop all the time. That's where these watches came from. That's where all this came from. Not all this. The not gifts that I gave you. Guys.
Got it.
Our TikTok shop.
Got it.
And I hope the sizes are okay.
Gosh. It's gonna put this
That
here.
one?
I'll just put this right here.
Ooh.
I had to get that for you when I saw that.
Book of Unusual.
Book of unusual knowledge.
She probably knows all
I was
of
gonna
it.
say she
No,
might know
I
it all.
probably-
They didn't burn witches. They burned women. Oh my god, I
Correct.
love it.
So I hope I got the right size. And I'm always afraid of sizes because I don't want to get one and everyone's like, oh my God, do you think I'm fat? But I also didn't want it to be like too small. So I'm very
I
sorry.
like it better when they're big.
That was a really funny thing. It's like a scrying thing.
Yeah.
And it was like just a fun little buy. So I hope if you
Cool.
don't like it, I'm really sorry.
No.
In a world
Enough
full of
try.
princesses, be a witch. Oh, that's cute too. Well, she did. Jenny
I'm throwing things now.
did also say that we were in covens together.
Mhm.
Oh, I am for sure know that at some point in time I was likely burnt at the stake. I opened my mouth because this mouth did not stay quiet in history. Yes, I love
And
these
you got
shirts.
the same one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a cow mouse pad.
I've seen these ones with all the dates on the back.
Yeah, when like women could vote.
Yeah, when women could get in the United States, women could get a credit card 50 years ago.
Yep.
Only 50 years ago.
Like the 70s. Yep.
74.
I was thinking about that, and that when I was in college, I got
You're
a
welcome.
Dayton's credit card, and they were after me to get this card, and I'm like, I don't even shop at Dayton's.
hmm
And then I got it, and I didn't know anything about like finances.
Did you screw it up?
And I had $16 credit, on that card, and they came after me. And like, it's $16.
But that back
But
in 19
back in the 80s in college, I didn't have $16. And if I did get it, I was buying food. I wasn't
Right.
giving it to a credit card company.
Right.
Cute.
Had to get a coup.
I can't. If I see it, I gotta get it.
Those are always good.
So I thought that was. It's like one of the really big ones too, so you can put your keyboard on.
Yeah,
it. And
that's nice.
That's awesome.
It's like a
Thank you.
Modge Podge of gifts.
I love it. Thank you, everybody.
That was mine. There was just a theme behind being spooky.
Yeah, that's spooky's always good.
Always good.
Yeah.
Does anybody want a new drink, a drink refresher, some sparkling something?
You know what? If you're going back there, my liver will tell me tomorrow I can recover.
All right, I'm gonna go make drinks. These two can talk.
Should we make? Let's see what's in our new book. If we can make a drink from there. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. I did a quick gander through them, but it's kind of fun because I have been to the Stanley Hotel. So when I saw that in, of course, Estes Park, it's such a cool little place. It should be this one.
Oh, Ghost
Yeah.
Bride
Oh,
Martini.
yeah.
Cointreau, simple syrup, lemon juice. I feel so fancy. I've never had this smartwatch before.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
I love mine.
I have the Garmin and I absolutely love it.
that's why I haven't gotten one because Apple is like, we'll take $500 and your soul.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Hey, one of my players finally got a touchdown.
I'm gonna lose this week.
You're playing my mom.
Am I?
Yep.
When I looked, I was.
She's
losing.
like, well, that's because you have a player on IR that you left in your bench or left on your team.
I looked too. I must have missed him.
Either out or on bye or something.
You know what? I'm not losing as badly as I thought I would.
Yeah.
You know what? Shit happens. What are you gonna do? Did you see we could get snow tomorrow? It's
Yeah.
middle of October. It's Minnesota.
Uh,
Minnesota's first snowfall is coming Monday, according to
However, did you read the article or just the headline, dear?
What's the headline.
Okay, so that's like Grand Marais area. So not here because
Duluth.
Mhm.
Average, yeah.
Because I also read that article the other day. But yeah, it's northern Minnesota that is likely to get a little bit of that. But they're also right on the... No, I have a wedding next weekend, so I took Friday off so that we could... My sister is going with me. She's my +1, so think up in northern Minnesota a little bit, so we're taking time to go and do some hiking. It's north of Mille Lacs, I should say. So gonna do some hiking. There's some breweries. There's a cute little place that is, I don't know if it's a winery or brewery, but you can make your own little meat and cheese charcuterie board.
Yes, please.
So you can like pick what you want and you can do them in like a little cup or something. But yeah, it's a super cute little place and just kind of excited to hang out with my sister.
That'll be really fun.
And we'll be doing some paint by numbers because like I mentioned, I bought a lot of paint by number and I'm still working on my nomies, but these ones will be a little bit easier because they're smaller.
But you know what? That's the way to do it because I always get super overwhelmed when I'm coloring and I'm like, I don't know what color to pick. So if they tell me what color to pick, that's...
I had a lemon drop, Amy, at a restaurant I went to for my fancy dinner, which ended up being my second fancy dinner because I went out to a steakhouse with a couple that was celebrating their 20th anniversary and it was a blast. But the cocktail, it was a lemon drop with elderflower liqueur.
Yum.
It was so good. So I had the vodka and then, but you know, so substituted some of the vodka for the elderflower. So it had just that little bit more of a sweet note to it, but that floral sweet. And sometimes lemon drops are just really, really strong because of the booze. No, not. I'm a sour person. I like that. I like that lemon. So, but it was so good. And can't remember what the other cocktail was I had. It was a gin and Aperol, and Prosecco. It was quite tasty. So I quite enjoyed that. Is it salt or sugar that you're putting on the rim? Nice. Ooh, the black sugar. Good call. Good call.
How fancy.
Oh, I have a few things of edible glitter. I absolutely love it. Yep. Especially if you're using something sparkly, it will super fizz. So be very careful. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Giant glasses.
No, but they're fun. I really want the ones that have like the skeleton hand holding the bottom of the glass. They just look so cool.
Okay.
We're back at it. What else do we want to talk about today?
Well, let's do a little cheers first.
Hang on. Okay.
Well, cheers to another year, ladies.
Happy
birthdays. And thanks for today's interesting year reminder. So today's a great day to spend with you.
It's tart.
It's very tart. I didn't put as much lemon in mine because I just used the rest of that.
Oh, see,
half lemon.
it's like perfect for me.
Really? It's a little. It's a little
sparkling water. You get some sparkling water or sparkling wine.
Water. I think there's enough booze in that to kill someone. For me.
Oh, see, no, this is perfect, Amy.
Okay. Well, I have one of these.
That's fine.
Oh.
Yep. You just need a little bubbly.
Thank you. That was the
Like Ghost
Ride Martini.
Yep.
I could just smell this all day. I just love.
I did also leave it in the cardboard box that they came in until today when I unwrapped them, so they stayed nice and fresh smelling for you.
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna try to put these on. But.
So, Amy, tell us about your birthday. And you had you went to Four Paws.
Four Paws for dinner, and
what is Four Paws?
It is a fancy restaurant in St. Paul that is in an old black painted Victorian mansion. And St. Paul has some of the most beautiful homes anyway. And
Summit Ave, anybody?
This one wasn't on Summit, but I don't know St. Paul at all. So I was like, I could be in Decatur. I have no idea where I am. And so I had never been there before. They closed during the COVID lockdown. And that it is hard to get those and you got to have nails. So it closed during the COVID lockdown and they just reopened maybe a month ago or so. And I saw them on Instagram and I saw their food and their chef is Tim McKee, who you may have heard from on other restaurants. And so we went there for my birthday and the place is beautiful. Is that better?
I know it would be better for you.
The place is beautiful. The service was, our server was the best. She was like telling us what she liked, what everybody else liked, most popular drink or food. We had some nice cocktails.
What'd you get for dinner?
We started with a tuna carpaccio, which normally wouldn't be something that I would want, but
it sounds delicious.
It was really
what
good.
What is that?
It's raw tuna.
It's raw tuna. And I will say though that I have had raw tuna before and it doesn't taste fishy. This did taste a little bit fishy.
And this is going to be usually it's a very thin
thin, like paper thin. You can see through it.
Yeah, because they have beef carpaccio too, which is also rare. It's raw beef.
I haven't had that.
It's very thinly sliced so that it basically melts in your mouth kind of thing.
Oh, cool now.
Did you download the app?
Yes, I got to figure out how to set the time because right now it's 4:30.
That's right.
It's 4:33.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. That's why we're having cocktails. It's happy hour.
Okay. Well, never mind then. Well, okay. So you had...
And then I had lamb chops.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And they came with a black garlic confit.
Okay.
Ooh, yum.
It's really good.
That sounds really
and a
good.
risotto. And
oh my God, I love a good risotto. For our first anniversary, John took me to a seafood restaurant because we all know how much I love seafood.
That was nice.
Bless him. He was trying so hard. It was really it was Aqua up in White Bear Lake.
Oh, yeah.
I had the best risotto of my life there.
Really?
And he had a New York strip. And I'm like, why are we here?
Why are you
at a seafood restaurant?
But you know what? I didn't want to say that because he tried. But I love risotto. I love risotto.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
I've never... Which is odd for me because, I'm not the best cook. The wine incident of 23 comes to mind.
There was 2 cups.
Yes. But I've never had a problem making risotto, which is odd.
Well, you know what? You're kind of a weird cook because
It's fact.
Because you also make hollandaise sauce from scratch. And
Yes.
I am the what do you call it?
The bag.
Pouch. The
Yeah.
pouch. And the hash browns. You can make good hash browns. I cannot.
Which is weird because those are usually really hard things, but I can't make sauce. I can't make a sauce. Like one time I tried to make gravy. We still joke about it because it was like cat puke.
You've talked about that one.
Cat puke, yeah.
But I can make a hollandaise sauce and risotto. I don't know.
Your gravy likely broke is what happened, and then you had too much flour and not enough liquid.
I added cornstarch.
Cornstarch instead of flour.
Because I've seen, because people say flours, you can taste it.
Well, you have to cook.
You have to cook
it
out
for at least 2 minutes,
Yeah,
and
I
then you
didn't know
can't
that.
taste it.
I didn't know that raw flour is bad.
Yeah, you're not.
I
supposed to
learned
eat
it
raw
on the
flour.
TikTok.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons, other than just eggs, that you're not supposed to eat raw cookie dough. But I'm pretty sure I've eaten so much raw cookie dough that I'm good.
Yeah.
Listen, as an adult, I've made cookie dough just to eat it.
Yeah.
You can find recipes that are like edible cookie dough that you don't really bake, but it adds like Greek yogurt and other things, so you don't have eggs and your flour gets substituted too.
I don't know. What do you use? Would it be like almond flour or something?
I don't remember because I've never made it.
Eggs. I mean, when I make eggs, unless I'm making scrambled eggs, my eggs are undercooked anyway. Yeah. I'm eating raw yolk.
I do the runny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it runny.
You got to dip. You got to have something to dip.
Well,
you got to make sauce.
But that's also heated to a certain point.
Oh,
I mean, when you're
true.
making a sauce with eggs, you're also slowly cooking them,
Sure.
even though and you have to stir constantly so they don't get scrambled. So they do. Your
Sauce,
yolk
is
your yolk is not cold. It's still hot, and the white around it is cooked.
Yeah,
that is
unless
a big
it's
piece
done
of it.
wrong.
Is that where the germs are?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of the yolk itself. Everyone always thinks like the yolk is what turns into a baby chick, but that's actually not. That's the food.
That's the food for the baby chick.
Yep.
That makes sense. It's like the egg sac,
Which is why it's a lot of the protein and higher cholesterol is in there.
That's why it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the whites are really just the fluids to protect the baby.
Sorry.
Baby thing as it grows.
Maybe we have a ghost bartender. We just heard a sound back there. You can make us another round if you like.
We start watching everything. It's like,
like what's moving? Is the
like
gin? Are we having gin?
Beauty and the Beast.
Be our guest.
Oh, and then Greg had a ribeye, which was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had budino for dessert, which I'd never heard of.
Oh, yeah.
What
It's
is
like
that?
a layered custard pudding kind of thing. It was like chocolate, dark chocolate, and then caramel, and then white chocolate, and then it
Yum.
was so good. And
It sounds
pistachios
very
crumbled
like
on top.
rich though.
It was very rich,
Yeah.
and we were already so full. Oh, and then as a side dish, because Greg's like, it's your birthday, let's just spend our money that we don't have. So we got a side.
You sounded like that too.
Just like that. Pretty
Absolutely.
much. Ask the waitress. She'll tell you.
Yeah.
We got a thing of rosemary French fries, and they were those really skinny,
Yum.
but soft, but crunchy still. Oh my God. And they had a fontina cheese dip that you dipped them in. Holy shit. I could have just eaten those fries in the Budino and I would have been happy.
Yeah.
Like the entrees were good. They weren't as good as the side and the dessert. Yeah. It was good. It was a good place. I recommend going. It was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
And then on my real birthday, what did we do? I had nothing planned. Nothing. And I was like, that's kind of nice. I'll just sleep however late I want.
But that's never how it works, is it?
No, I was, because we didn't really drink. We had one cocktail piece at dinner on Wednesday night.
Did you go with the bird then?
And then, no.
Oh.
We didn't
really?
on Thursday, yes.
Okay.
Thursday, yes. On my birthday, we did. And I learned 2 sad things happened in those 2 days. And I'll give
Great.
you the really sad one later. But the sad one that we learned about on my actual birthday, the bird, AKA the Legion, AKA the Hole, is moving.
Oh.
Where?
It's moving to downtown Golden Valley in the old Red Lobster building,
When?
which is on 55. They're already redoing the patio right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I suppose it's probably a bigger space.
Well, the thing is, the bird where it is right now is right on the property line of the Breck High School.
Yep.
And Breck is buying it.
It's by, because I'm going to guess we saw this happen before, that the people who own the property are renting the property potentially to the owners of the Legion. So therefore, if the property gets sold, this has happened right down the street from us. There used to be a restaurant called Kozlak's in
I've heard
Shoreview.
of Kozlak's,
Yeah, it's been gone for years because they didn't own the property that their restaurant that had been a staple in the area for decades. They didn't own the property, and basically as their lease was coming up, they were told, you have X amount of time to get out of here. We're selling the property, and it is now a senior living facility, like senior high rise.
Here's what I
apartment
wonder
building.
about the senior facilities, because I know they're popping up because of the boomers.
Because there's so many of us.
There's so what's going to happen, because there's not that many of the following generations.
Right. They're going to be turned into something else. Or knocked down.
They can't sustain. They're not sustainable.
Once everybody my age is gone,
because you have more people like me who are only having one kid.
Yeah.
Or me that aren't having any.
Right.
Yeah.
Or me.
Or you.
Yeah.
You childless cat ladies
I know.
whose votes
My
don't
dogs will
count.
not be
ladies.
alive when I'm in the ground.
Whose votes
unless I
don't
go
count.
before my time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's your point?
Hey, I already voted. Did you guys vote?
No.
I already voted. I voted last week.
Anyways, I think we should move on
Sorry.
from politics.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll cut that off for patrons or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. We have to welcome a new patron.
Welcome.
I don't know their real name, but their username is Hello Bodega Kitty. And I can only assume that is the same person who left us a 5-star review who signed it Bodega Cat. I assume
you.
it's the same person.
Cheers, Bodega Cat.
Cheers
Cheers
to
to
Bodega
you.
Cat. Hello, Bodega Kitty.
There's a lot of booze in this. I
And-
might need to stay for a bit.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll make a couple more rounds.
Yeah. we'll have a couple more rounds.
Megan is cut off.
No.
Yeah, it's
So she started, I assume it's a she because all of our patrons are.
Yeah.
Every time somebody joins, I send a message and say, hey, thank you so much. She joined on the free trial. And so I was like, I hope that I got you. I assume you're the same person that wrote the review. Thank you. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to see on Patreon. Yeah. And we hope that we can convert you into a full member. And she replied back to me and she's like, oh, I'm absolutely staying. You guys are my comfort show. Yeah, I know.
That is
really
so
sweet.
sweet.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're excited to have you.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
very sweet of you.
Our patrons are the best. Oh my
Honestly,
God.
they're really
The
phenomenal.
best.
I love our chats too.
I
Like
know.
it is.
You know what? I know we're coming up on holidays for a lot of us and with our patrons who are the best.
True.
Let's drop some recipes that we all have that we share
yes.
for
Good idea.
that we all share with our families or friends, whoever you celebrate whatever holiday
Whatever.
with.
Or if
I
you don't
care.
celebrate any, just drop your favorite recipe.
There's a lot of holidays coming up in the next year.
But
so
some people might not.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume.
In the next year, dear?
No.
In the next year, there's a lot
I mean, at least you could celebrate St. Patrick's Day or
Exactly.
Valentine's
So
Day.
I will pull together. I have my instructions for pierogi, which is my great grandmother who came over from Poland.
Right.
It's our version. I can't really call it a recipe. It's more like instructions. It is the recipe, but it also tells you like the touch and feel and how things should look.
Oh, I love
and
that.
So I will
That's
get
the best
mine.
way to cook anyway.
Yeah, I'll get mine put together and
Okay.
get it out there for our patrons.
I will give the Minnesota green bean casserole.
Oh, nice.
Hot
I
dish.
can't wait.
Casserole.
Hot dish.
It's a casserole.
It's a hot dish.
In Minnesota,
Girlfriend.
it's hot dish.
I say casserole.
Well, you're not
Why?
Minnesotan. She also cheers for the Packers. So
Well, they kicked some
Megan.
butt today.
Vikings are 5-0.
So are the Packers. No, I don't
No,
know.
they're not. They're 4-2.
No, because we beat the Packers. I know nothing about nothing, but I do know that we beat the Packers.
You need
last
some
week.
good old fashioned cream of mushroom soup.
I know. I have a tater tot hot dish that I used to make when I taught preschool. Mm-hmm. I was friends with the cook.
Yeah.
And so she gave me the recipe. And it's delicious. I tried to zhuzh it up last Thanksgiving. I made it as a side dish, which I know it's not a side dish because it has meat in it. But I made it and I tried to zhuzh it up and I did like, instead of using canned cream and mushroom soup, I made a bechamel or whatever. It was terrible.
What do you put?
So
do
I
you
was
put a ton of veggies in it? Because that's what
No.
gets me.
I just
put veggies in mine.
I just put corn.
I wanna shock you both and say that I make both of those types of recipes, but I have done them at an, I guess, elevated level. I skipped the cream soups. I've done a deconstructed type hot dish, but I've done it where take potatoes and roast the potatoes so get nice and crunchy, crispy. In this one, and I use
Dead to me.
made with good
I mean,
mushrooms and all
it's
the
delicious,
stuff.
but it's not tater tot.
But it's tater tot.
It's a
It's not
version.
tater potatoes.
It is a version,
Right.
but just a little bit different.
Wrong
and
one.
then the green bean hot
you
dish.
can make it for us, and we'll do another one of
Yes.
these, and you can bring it over. And
I'm just being
At this
sassy.
point-
we could just do a tater tot hot dish off. Make one.
I don't know how to make it
Oh, okay.
because it wasn't my favorite thing in the world.
Oh.
So
You can do the green beans. Then.
okay.
And so I saw something that said funeral potatoes being a Mormon funeral
We
potatoes,
had
and I was
to-
like,
I
no.
grew up on
Those
funeral.
are those
Oh my
are
God.
like
Those are
every-
very Protestant.
the Lutheran.
Well, I
That's
didn't
what I
grow up
had.
Lutheran, and
I grew up
got
Catholic,
those.
but we had
we had those.
all the time. They're everybody's funeral potatoes, but I've never seen like something that said Mormon. I'm like, they're in Utah. They don't do potatoes and cheese like we do.
What do you call funeral potatoes? Like what do you make for funeral potatoes? Are they like the cheesy ones?
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're cheese
okay.
and like maybe a sour creamy kind of a combination.
And like
I-
hash browns.
Those are the ones I'm
I
used
do-
to.
so
The ones I'm used to
good.
are little tiny cubes.
I know, but I like
And you
that.
know
I
that
do-
my family members who made them did not chop that up.
Yeah,
That
no.
was a bag.
No,
Mhm.
I do jalapeno, poblano, and onion and saute
Okay.
those up on the side. Then mix all that in because
Okay.
I don't like the raw crunch of onion when it's hardly cooked as it comes in.
Mhm.
I didn't like onion as a kid, so I've grown
Right.
to really appreciate it. I just don't like that raw crunch yet.
No,
so
I wouldn't like
sa-
that in a hot dish either.
So I saute my onion and then I add the jalapeno and poblano, maybe a little green pepper, see what else, maybe, and probably a little red pepper flake. So that kind of cuts through some of the richness of the potato and cheese mixture, but gives you a little bit, little Southwest flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
That sounds-
excited.
yeah.
I'm excited for our holiday happy hour.
Yeah. Whenever it is.
Whenever we have
Amy's
time to
bringing
do
just a bunch of potatoes.
it. Bunch of potatoes and cheese.
I also have my one pot lasagna that I love.
I think you've made that for us before. You made us.
No, she made us a pasta dish, but it wasn't lasagna. It was like rigatoni or penne or something.
It was the just
It was
one,
real
it was
so
a
good.
one pot beef pasta.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
It was creamy, like it was tomatoey, but also creamy. So it was almost pink. The sauce was
Yes.
almost pink.
It's like a vodka
Yeah, yeah.
sauce. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like the
Oh, it
color.
was good.
It was so good.
It was just tomato and then you had different cheeses.
I'll
which I
make
use a lot of.
gravy.
Okay.
I don't know if
Can we
we
put that
wanna-
on the side?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
thanks.
yes, 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 yes.
I love gravy, but I don't
Why
know about
is your
yours.
gravy great? Why is it of the consistency of slime? Well, I put 2 cups of wine in it.
That was your French onion pasta.
Yes.
Is that what it was? The
Yes.
French onion pasta? Yeah.
It was delicious, but
I will never forget. You were messaging me, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "You're like, it called for 2 cups of wine." And I'm like, "What?
yeah.
2 cups of wine?" And then you called me, and we were talking through. I'm like, "Megan, did you look at the recipe? Because she sent me the recipe. Called for a half a cup."
Yep. In my defense, there was a 2 in there.
You are correct. There was a 2.
When I talked to her, she was reading the recipe to me. And she was at the liquor store. And she was like, can I get this or can I get that? And I'm like, just get a little tiny one if you don't want that alcohol in your house,
Yeah.
Just get a little tiny one and you can just use that. And because I knew that it was only a small amount. And so I was thinking one of those little cardboard things of that is like a glass and a half.
That's what I got.
But that was 2 cups?
Technically, there's 3 glasses in those things.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It was 2
How
cups.
small are your glasses?
Exactly. They're not the average size.
It's not even a full glass.
They're not an Amy pour.
No.
And then I was like, this is really boozy. And
Yep. So then
we saved it. And by we, I mean AP.
You saved it. We just got you. We found ways and you got it done. And
it was so good.
Yes. And I have since then, I have made a few things. Yep.
Like, what by saving, I mean you fixed it.
Yes.
Whereas I would be like, this fucking sucks, throw it away and order pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always down for pizza. But yes, it was. I've had some very interesting exploits in the kitchen. But you know what? It keeps us young.
But that is one of those things that when I go out to restaurants and things, it's always well, what would I not make myself? So last week I went on my little vacation.
Yes. How was it?
So, and
Even though you didn't go to the Twilight House.
No. So I will get to the food and stuff that I had. But so first off, get to the airport to take off. I always go to a restaurant or something and I get a cocktail. It was a 6:40 flight. So of course I went and got food. So I'm at the Twins Grill, which is a fantastic place. If you're ever in the seaside for Delta, typically, I would say go to this. They have a grand mimosa, which is fantastic. So of course I ordered that. I sat down next to a woman who she had been there. This was her second meal at the Twins Grill because she was coming in from California to go visit her sister out in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
She missed her flight.
Oh.
And it's not because her flight came in late. It's because her watch didn't change over. And so she was off by 2 hours. She did, but she didn't look at her phone or anything. So then they booked her on the last flight out that evening. So we sat and chatted. She reminded me a lot of my grandma. And a year ago today, we're recording on the 13th is when I had to check my grandma into hospice. So and then on the 20th is when she will be a year when she passed. And so we were just sitting there talking. So she had just gotten a chili and a Coke or something. I tried to get her to have a glass of wine with me, but she's like, no, I've got to make sure I make this flight. And it's like, okay, fair enough. So when the bartender came back a second time, because I was like, I'm getting another glass of wine. And I said, I'll also take her tab. And she's like, I'll take mine too. And he goes, she's got you covered. And she's, when he brought my tab, she was like, wait, where's mine? And he must have he asked if I wanted the 5 or 8 ounce pour. And I said 5 ounce, but I'm pretty sure he gave me the 8 ounce pour for the 5 ounce price because I looked at somebody next to me who got the 8 ounce pour and was the same size.
Yeah.
So, and I was just like, and he came back over and was like, thank you. She's had a hard day. So, I like to do those little kinds of things or just put good out there.
Especially
unfortunately, it didn't come back to me right off the bat. Other than the wine, getting the shuttle from the airport to the hotel, it didn't show up. I called the hotel and they're like, oh, well, it runs every 20 minutes from here. So the next one won't be out there for another 20 minutes. And I was like, fuck it. I'm buying. I called a Lyft and I was able to walk straight over to a guy who was already sitting there. $20 to go a mile, but I was able to get to my hotel. Yeah. So then I have the app. I was able to check in. I go to put my phone as the key. Won't work. Won't work. So now I have to go back to the line, and I go back and they've got 4 lines set up. So I go into the last line over here that says which hotel I was staying at, honors program or the rewards program. And the lady was saying like, that's not a line. I was like, well, there were people in line here. And she's like, this is why people aren't coming to help, like calling you over and they can't see you. I'm like, no, that's not great customer experience or service.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
anyways, got through that. Then the next morning I rented a car through Turo, and Turo is like Airbnb for your car. Go to the train station to go pick up the car. Can't find the key. So the key is supposed to be in a lockbox. And now like these people have to do a very much like they want 5-star reviews because that keeps people wanting to rent their car, makes them money, right? So I am here and he's like, it's behind. At first he was like, it's either behind the driver's side or the passenger rear tire in a lockbox. And here's the code. And I was like, okay, so I'm searching. Cannot find it. So then I'm like, when you say behind, do you mean towards the tailgate or towards the axle? Because behind means
The back.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think about which ways is he thinking about behind? Because I'm like, behind means multiple things.
It is very subjective, and
he just kept saying passenger rear tire. Yes, passenger rear tire, behind the rear tire. I am laying on the ground. I have a dip polish on. I actually scratched up the edges on them.
Yeah.
I had to file them down. He's not being helpful. He ends up telling me, well, you'll just have to contact customer service and see if they can get you a new car. Now I'm stranded at the Angle Lake station in Seattle. Like, what the hell am I going to do? How am I going to get this? So I get on with a lovely woman with Turo. She cancels it. We get pictures of the car. Cause I always asked him because he had to upload a bunch of pictures that make sure if there's any previous damage or anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a really great service. Ended up having a good experience out of it, but to start off was really not great.
Yeah.
And so I was like, did you take a picture of where it's located? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, why didn't you take a picture of where you put the damn key? I mean, what I think happened because of how quickly he ended up ending the conversation and then, quote, canceled my reservation is I think he forgot to put the key in. I'm pretty sure he forgot to put the key. Yeah. And so then just told me to cancel. And so anyways, I got set up with a new person. Turo covered the any additional cost of the vehicle. So what my original rental fee was applied to it, and then they paid what was over. Nice. So I didn't have to pay any extra. And this was a group that they must have like a fleet of cars that they do this with. And they're like, well, we'll drop it off here. And I'm like, hey, here's what happened. Here's how I got connected and why I'm so desperate. And I'm at this place. And he's like, that's not cool. We'll get you something quick. So he actually got it to me within 40 minutes of them being contacted. And then I was on my way. So I was already like an hour and a half behind. And then I got stuck in traffic because there was a big car accident. So I get out to Leavenworth where I was staying, which nice little place. It was perfect for walking distance from downtown and everything. Nice. So I had in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to one area. And then I'm walking, I look up and I see House of Champagne. And I was like, well, what is that? I better go figure that out.
That sounds like something. That was a beacon. That was like a sign for you.
It was because originally I was going to walk straight across the street, but I would have had to wait for the light to turn. So I was like, oh, I'll just go down this way a little bit. And then I saw that and it was in the same building of where I was going to go. But I was like, I'm going there. When I walk in, it was this cute little place, just like
it was really adorable.
Not much bigger than like a living room area, like a big living room, I would say. And all the tables are taken. I'm not going to take the 6-person table. And so I see this couple sitting at a spot. So I order a flight, and I mean, I was like, I'm on vacation. I've already had a rough day. So I'm going to do whatever. So, and it was actually the owner of the place that was serving us that day. So he gave me one like really nice champagne. It was $60 a glass.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Better be.
God.
Yeah. No, that one. Oh, sorry. It may have been like more like $40 a glass. And I think the bottle itself was like $65, $70. But nonetheless, I was like, okay, this is good.
That's pricey.
No, it might have been more than that because the one I bought was $50. Anyways, I sat down. I actually recognized this couple that was sitting there because I saw them leaving from the hotel, like headed downtown when I was pulling in kind of thing. I was like, oh, you guys are staying at such and such too. And they're like, yeah. I was like, hey, can I sit down? And the guy goes, no. And I was like, okay, so I am. And he goes, okay, you get sarcasm. You're welcome. So Adam and Shannon, they were celebrating their 20th anniversary.
Shout out Adam and Shannon.
Shout out. Happy anniversary, Adam and Shannon.
They were so great. And then there was another couple that was celebrating their like 30th or 40th anniversary. There was another couple that was in there. So we're all just talking and chatting. And like Adam and Shannon are telling me all about their kids and like their daughter.
Classic Adam and Shannon.
Their daughter is getting married in October next year in Germany. I was like, when and where? What time am I showing up in Germany? And I mean, they told me everything.
Yeah.
I was like, this was fantastic. And then as we sat there for like an hour, they bought me a glass of wine or a glass of champagne. So I was like, I'll buy a bottle for us to split then. And Adam's like, you're coming to dinner with us. And I'm like, no, you guys do not need to include me. He's like, no, you're coming to dinner with us. So we ended up at a steakhouse for dinner. And
nice.
Obviously I paid for myself kind of thing, but it was just, it was just really nice. It turned my day a little bit better. And the next day I did horseback riding, which was beautiful. It was cold. And the other 4 people on the ride were from Hawaii. So they were not prepared for 35 degrees.
So it was real cold for them.
So they were not prepared for 35 degrees. The owner of Wild at Heart horse rides.
Shout out.
She was fantastic. She had this.
Not a sponsor.
No. She had this.
If you want to be.
She did a really good job, like figuring out, you know, you fill out a questionnaire when you book it. And then like, you know, what kind of, what experience you have and all of this sort of stuff. So she put me on one of her, like her only mare in her herd. Mares are known for being a little bit more finicky and in ways often bitchy. And she's like, she is my queen of the herd. She gets her way with things, but she's also very responsive and she does all this. So we had a great time.
Nice. What was her name?
Dancer.
Oh,
she was a Grula quarter horse, which Grula only like less than 1% of all quarter horses are Grula color, which is in some light it's gray, some it's black, some it's brown. Like it just kind of shimmers.
Like a Weimaraner?
A little bit, but darker. Okay. And she's so soft, like plush animal soft. Yep. So that was a great time. Then made my way through, did a couple wine tastings, met some fun people, went out to dinner at Larch, which was a restaurant that I was telling you about with the fun cocktails. And everything looked good. And so it's like, okay, it's all handmade pasta. What do I want?
Wow.
So I ended up with cannoli that was with chicken and artichoke stuffed and a gorgonzola sauce and blistered grape tomatoes. I ate all of it. I bought ice cream from a local place on my way back, and I actually ended up eating that on Friday because my freezer was so cold in the fridge, little mini fridge in my room. It froze my gallon jug of water.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I was like, well, my ice cream should be fine.
Yeah.
So it was a blast. Friday, did some hiking, just kind of tootled around town. Like, was going to buy some stuff, but a lot of it was just so touristy. And then some of it was just like, I can order this online and it's not made here. It's really just sold in these stores.
We found that in Scotland too.
Yep. So I was like, I'm discerning what I'm going to get. And I just tasted a bunch of stuff, ended up at a brewery called the Dog House.
Of course.
HAUS. And it was like literally not much bigger than your space here. Sat behind the bar, played cribbage with the bartender. And then one of like somebody she knows came in with some cheese and crackers and shared with everybody.
Oh, nice.
It was like
that sounds like an area that you could live in and be happy.
Yeah. It was just fantastic. So I had a great time. Was up most of the night Friday because I was so worried about getting back on time because it's a 2.5 hour drive all the way back, and then you're like, oh, what if there's an accident, or what if this happens, and then I got to drop this off, and I have to do this, and I have to get the train, and then walk like 5,000 miles from the train to inside the airport and drop off luggage. So I made it through, and it was great.
Good.
So.
Well,
it was a fun time. Yeah,
yes,
it was a really fun time
for you.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you that you can do, like, I'm going to go on a trip all by myself and I'm going to go to here and you just go and do it. I'm way too chicken to do that. I would have to have somebody with me. If for no other reason, when I freak out and be like, I don't know what gate I'm supposed to be at. Once I get to the city, I'd be okay. If you could just plop me down, I'd be fine. But I don't do well navigating airports.
I was crying waiting for my car. But
Yeah, I would be too.
once I got it figured out, I was like, just get in. It'll be fine. I tried to remember, both Leah has talked to us about this. Jenny's talked to us about it. Just like, I'm healthy. I'm fine.
Yes.
I'm going to get there safe.
Yeah.
And
So I was really trying to channel that.
Yeah. Well, and Jenny said that too in the last, when we
Yep.
just met. You guys won't see this for a while, but
Yep.
when she was saying like, sometimes I get in like my lower vibration, dark place, and I'm thinking, oh God, I'm going to be late, which,
Yep.
I mean, good for her if that's her lowest, darkest place,
Yeah.
because I go way lower, darker than that.
Yep.
But she's like, I just have to say, I'm going to get there safely. I'm going to get there on time, whatever.
I'll get there safe.
I'll get there
happy.
safe and secure, or
Yep.
something
Yep.
like that. And she goes, I just say it 3 times. She says everything 3 times.
Yep.
And I'll get there safe and secure. I'll get there
Yep.
safe and secure. I'll get there safe and secure. And then,
That's what I just kept like thinking about as I was going through it. I'm like, okay, I've got a car. We're getting there. It's going to be a little bit later than I wanted. But of course, then I could use that story a little bit. And
Yeah.
I will say,
it's true. It's a good story.
I think pretty much everywhere I went, I got a little bit of like one-on-one kind of service.
Yeah.
Like one winery I stopped at, I was the first person, and he's like, I had one other group today, but yesterday they only had one person all day, like one table, because it's a little tiny winery. It's middle of the week kind of thing. Well, then like 2 large groups came in, and I was over chatting with somebody because that's what I do. I help, like, even when I was at the brewery, I was like, hey, what are you guys wanting?
Yeah.
just joining in. But the guy is like, I came back to my table and he had poured more wine into my glass. I was done with the tasting, but he poured another glass for me. And he goes, I found 4 of our unlabeled bottles in the cellar. He goes, this is a Sauvignon Blanc, and it was my favorite. And I thought I was out of it. But when I found 4, he goes, I was planning on drinking this later, but I thought you might like this one.
Oh, nice.
So
That's really good.
it was so good. I was like, God, I wish that you guys still had this one. I would have bought that, but it was really good. I actually bought their Chardonnay, and I'm not a Chardonnay drinker.
I'm not either.
And it was really good. So
I really like white wine. It tends to be just either really too sweet or just too dry.
For me, white, I like Pinot Grigio because it tastes like almost nothing. It tastes like wine, but it doesn't, like, for me, Chardonnay tastes like Parmesan cheese or pineapple or vomit.
Chardonnay,
Interesting choices.
So
Yeah.
it's always like I take a sip and it goes in my throat and it makes me feel like I'm.
it's because it's that like buttery.
really sick.
It's this like butteriness that they do with the oaking process. Like
I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
Like if
It's
it was
just
buttery, I would like it. I know they always
You
say
think?
it's a buttery Chardonnay,
you-
but
you
every
would
time I
think-
taste it, I'm like,
you
I'm
also
not
don't want
tasting
it.
butter.
I don't want an oaky Chardonnay, and I don't want a buttery Chardonnay. I just want like a crisp, which is more towards the Pinot Grigio
I do
or
like
Sauvignon
a
Blanc.
crisp.
But I'm a white wine girl because I like red wines, but I tend to have more of a reaction with
yes,
red
you
wines.
Yeah, I do too.
You
So-
turn instantly red.
I do too. I
And-
get it.
But it's not everyone. But you have been around me when I've
Yes.
got one,
Yeah.
and just like my cheek, one
Instant.
cheek usually goes
Yeah.
like hot, not even
Yeah.
red. It's hot pink, and I'll usually get a headache associated with that. So yeah, obviously there's an allergy to something
There's
that's in that.
something, yeah.
Because I also notice it with like super hoppy IPAs sometimes.
Ugh,
Like,
I can't
it's
stand
gross.
anything hoppy.
I like IPAs and different things, and I'll try like my brother's or something, but I'll try one and be like, nope, that's one I can't do. So kind of learning that sort of stuff, because usually if it's sulfites or sulfates or something like that, like potato chips and beef jerky are like that too, but I don't have
Oh, I can eat those, no problem.
I don't
Yeah.
have reactions with those.
No,
So
I
it
don't
has to
either.
also be something in the process of the way that the grapes are.
I've
done,
heard
so.
tannins too for a red wine because
Yep.
I get the really
Yep.
rosy cheeks, and sometimes I get like almost heart palpitations.
Mhm.
I get like, and so I
I felt
do
that too.
like red wine. I don't like red wine at room temperature. If I'm gonna have red wine, it's gonna have ice in it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah.
Heathen.
I know.
Nope. I've gotten over a little bit, because there always used to be this like stigma. If you drink white wine, then and you didn't drink red, you just didn't have a discerning palate. And like there, and I
Drink
had
what
some
you
family
like.
members that had some of the snobbery about it. And it's, I don't think they meant it, but it was just like, well, I like this the best. And it was kind of like, oh, you like white wine? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I've gotten that too.
I'm starting to,
Who cares?
really started to figure out, it's drink what you like.
Yes.
If you like Moscato, drink Moscato.
Moscato.
Yeah.
And
Why do people have to judge
Hashtag
everything?
drink Moscato.
Like, just let people be.
Almost drank my microphone.
Let people drink.
Don't drink
and
your
be
microphone.
What they want to drink and be and love and do. Like, who cares? If you're that shallow in life that you have to judge, you need to reevaluate yourself.
I think that was more of a societal thing too for quite a while. But you saw it in all the shows and movies, and it was always the red wine was classier, and if you drank white wine, you were probably trailer trash kind of thing, and it's like,
or you were just a white girl trying to get drunk quick.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
No, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna shotgun a beer.
Yeah. Oh no, I would shot of whatever. I don't care.
No, a shotgun. You just put that sucker.
Oh, I
down
can't
with the,
guzzle that fast. I would.
Oh, you're not even guzzling with a shotgun.
You're
it is
just
just
opening
going.
your mouth.
I can't.
It is
I've
just
tried
going
it.
down.
I tried it
drown.
in 1987, and it did not go well.
I was 3.
I was
Yeah.
2.
I was in college.
Yep.
And yeah, I was like, as soon as it hit, and I couldn't, and it just, it was not good. It was not good. I didn't throw up. It was just coming out. It hit the bottom, and it came.
Yep. Okay, but that's like every time if you watch a show or a movie and someone takes a drink out of a bottle of sparkling wine or champagne, you're like, no, you're not doing that. You are not doing that, because if you've ever done that, that is coming out all over your face.
Yeah.
It is. You take a swig out of it and it rushes up.
Oh, as soon as you set it down, it comes back at you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No. What?
Yeah, I
shows.
know. That's why I'm like, that's not
real.
That's not real. You can't be doing that.
Megan's reminding us it's not.
It's not real.
It's not
Like,
real.
When is Hallmark going to remember?
fiction.
When is Hallmark going to
Oh
actually
my
make-
God, we're coming up on Hallmark season.
But when are they going to make sure to put liquid in the cups?
Last year, I think they got better.
I think
I
they're
noticed
doing
last
it
year.
on purpose
I
because they
think there
know
are
we
a
have bingo
few-
cards.
I think there are a few writers and like directors and things that are like, we're going to fuck with
They
them
do.
now.
Yeah.
They're leaning into it. They're leaning into it.
You know
They
what?
we
I
have
love
bingo
that
cards.
though.
I do
Then
too.
you know what? They acknowledge it. They're not trying to pretend there's something they're not. You're the same movie over and over again, but that's why we love you, Hallmark.
I know.
I saw a meme. I think it was today, maybe it was yesterday, but it said like, what has 15 actors, 574 movies, 2 plot lines, and like 1 setting or something like that. It was like
A Hallmark movie.
Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're so good.
There's a
They're
bunch
just
that are
such
coming out on Netflix now too.
Oh,
Yeah,
that are just
Netflix
the
is
same.
trying their hand at it. Other networks. Are doing
Lifetime
it too.
is doing it, but
Well,
you know
Lifetime's
what?
been that way,
Hallmark's the
too.
OG.
Hallmark
Like, don't
is
even
the
try.
OG.
Okay, but I still go with the Hallmark movies and mystery ones
Those are good.
Those are better.
Those
It
are good.
depends on the movie.
Typically, they're going to be a higher percentage of better than most of the regular Hallmark ones.
Wow.
Yep. And my hard thing is
Those
that
are
I keep
fighting words.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to
I
call
thought
it
we were friends.
movies and murder or mysteries and murder, and I'm like, that's not right.
That's not Hallmark.
That's not Hallmark.
that would
I will say I'm
that
glad
is
they're
Lifetime.
I'm glad they're expanding and are becoming inclusive, which I did not see for Hallmark.
No, I
That's
didn't
why
either.
there are some people who have left that and made their own
What
channel.
was the network? It's like the family.
American Family.
Great American Family.
Ugh.
Blech,
The Gaffers.
Candace.
blech.
Yeah.
No.
I have to say, I've never been a fan of her. Well,
No.
I guess maybe back in the DJ days, I was a fan of her.
She had
But-
1 or 2 movies but she's not a great actress.
No, she's not.
She's not great, but she's very cute and she's very charming. And I started watching a couple years ago when I started watching the Hallmark all the time.
Mhm.
I did watch a few of her movies, the Aurora mystery
There's the
ones.
one
Yes.
that was like the.
I really like those, and
Yep.
I find her very charming. And
Not
but I
anymore.
hate myself when I watch them because I'm like, why do I like her?
Yeah.
But I do.
Did you see that Kirk blamed all the hurricanes on? Said they weren't nature.
Oh, the Democrats are making the hurricanes. Haven't you
Right.
heard?
Oh yeah, but they're
Yeah.
God's awesome power, and I'm like, well, can it be both? Can it be nature and God?
I mean,
But we also don't. It's not He's punishing us. Like,
well, it's the same thing as when very strong Christians, that's with quotes, say that when their child is going in for surgery or whatever, and they're like, God made her pull through. And it's like, maybe it was the surgeon and all of the other doctors that were, I'm not saying God didn't have a hand in it,
but it wasn't just him.
It was actually the surgeon.
And their
With
skill.
the billions of people in the world, do we truly believe that God has a hand in every single one of our lives all the time for every single thing? Or like when you're playing a game and they're like, I give
like
it up
sports
to
ball game, you mean?
sports ball, and they're always like this at the end. I'm like, do you think he cares about the outcome of this game?
I don't think God gives a shit who wins what game.
Yep.
I really don't.
No.
I really
don't. But this could get deep, so.
Yeah,
anyways.
I think we should
I will say though
the-
that when we talked to Jenny, again, spoiler alert about the Jenny conversation, I thought this was really interesting. When she was talking about speaking to your spirit guides, your loved ones, your ancestors who have passed, she was like, don't feel like you're taking away from them being somewhere else, because they can be everywhere at once. And I do believe that God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is everywhere at once. I still have a hard time believing that the spirit gives a shit about who wins what game.
That God is like, oh my God, the Bears are playing? Well, I got to get there.
Yeah. Unless it's going to depend on certain people's livelihoods or lives, or the way that their paths in life are going, maybe. But I guess just because I never have felt like I'm that important, that I was like, I don't see why. Even when I believed 100% in God, the old white man sitting on a cloud, which I did for a very long time, I still don't believe. Yeah. And I didn't then that person gave a shit about me, or that being gave a shit about me.
It brings us all back to, we all have free choice and free will.
Yeah.
And we have forks in the road that we come to, and we make a choice. And sometimes that choice brings us back to that same spot or a similar spot that's like, you may have made the wrong choice the last time. Let's try this again. And sometimes it takes us a couple times to learn that sort of thing. But speaking of,
I'm dense. I have to do everything 50 times before I figure that shit out.
Having a, connection to a loved one that's passed. When I was in Seattle and I was staying at that airport hotel, I remember waking up in the morning and I was starting to get a lot of those like pictures of people and things moving through my eyes. So I was like, okay, whoever's here, just let me know who's here. And a little while later, I fell back asleep, and a little while later I woke up and I was kind of laying on my side, and I felt a heavy weight next to me, curled up behind my legs, felt like a weight across me. Like I could feel the weight, and I heard the sigh.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, Briggs, you're here.
Nice.
So even though I know technically I was by myself this whole trip, I'm very positive that Briggs was with me.
Yeah.
I had the necklace that my sister got me with his face and name on it. I wore that pretty much the entire trip. So anytime I go hiking or that sort of stuff, I usually bring it with me because that was my little buddy. So
out of any, like you get lost in the woods or something. Oh yeah. I mean, he would even if he didn't have the necklace.
Okay. So oddly enough, when I was doing this hike, my dad, of course, worries about me. And, it is bear country. It is, there are mountain
Just
lions
take two
in the
sticks
area.
and bang them together.
Well, I carry a knife with me. So since I had a check bag, I was able to pack one with me. And I'm pulling in to this place, and it's a drive out of town. And then like the further and further I'm getting out, I'm like, okay, we're now down to like minimal maintenance road. Now we're down to a dirt road. Now we're down to like, it's a
grass.
Like pull over, it's kind of like maybe 1.5 cars wide. So kind of like in Scotland, you pull over if you come to a spot so the other person can pass by. And like, I don't think anybody's going to be out here, but I've been told that this is a well-traversed hike. And so I end up getting out there, and I pulled over because I thought, is this a ranger station that I need to like get a permit for or whatever? They didn't have any there. So I continued on. Well, 2 cars had passed me at that point. So there was a family with a little girl, or, husband, wife, and a little girl, and then 2 guys with a dog. And it's like, okay, well, we're starting at the same point. So is it all right if I just kind of like hike with you guys through this? So I hiked with those 2 guys and dog, their friends from Portland that were just kind of traveling, camping in their cars and doing some hiking kind of stuff. It was funny because I was like, I'm in a sweatshirt and a long sleeve. They've got hats on and puffy jackets and like not even halfway through the hike, like maybe it was a 4.5 mile hike. I think about a mile in, I'm taking off one of my layers and I'm rolling my sleeves up and I'm like, whew, it's kind of warm out here, isn't it? And they're like But I do, like, in one of those cases, I feel like there was and when we went in, there was only 3 cars in the parking lot. When we came out, the parking lot was almost full.
Yeah.
So I got the feeling like this was kind of set into place so that I wasn't going to be hiking by myself or having to worry about. Otherwise, I would have been playing a podcast loudly in my pocket until I met up with people. And then
that's a good idea.
So I've done that.
Think there's other voices.
Yep. So I've done that before so that it's loudly talking so that, usually that's going to keep something away kind of thing.
Right.
But of course, I always
the activity continue.
No, because I didn't want to hear myself.
Would you play?
On that trip, I had a bunch of My Favorite Murder, and that's why we drink. Because especially because they are long podcasts in a lot of ways. And
yes, they are.
Yeah.
so I had those. I didn't end up playing any while I was walking, but I've done that before. But when I come up on people, then I pause it. There are people who will play their music and they'll hike past you or with you for a little bit, and it's like, I don't want to hear your music.
Yes. That's why they have earbuds.
Yeah.
Or pause it or whatever.
Exactly. So I've done.
It's like the people who talk on speakerphone in public. I hate that. Don't do that. Unless you're having an argument, in which case I do need to hear both sides of the
every
story.
word.
But other than that, just
Come
don't.
sit closer so I can hear it.
So I can, and I need to decide who's right.
And then I'm probably going to be like live tweeting it.
Right.
Yep.
Or at least live.
Yes,
chatting
which you have
it.
done.
Oh my
before,
God.
and we appreciate it.
Yep.
We appreciate that. We are thankful. Really quick, my website is now live.
Yeah, I saw that.
Magic. I know. I put it in the show notes for the one that comes out this week. So yes, I did look. You have a lot of really nice stuff in there.
Thank you. Yes, it's
Your pictures turned out great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm not even done. I still have probably 30 to 40 more pieces to upload.
Because I was going to say, I looked at the Christmas ones because I have a set of, I
liked your little snowman.
Yep. I had Megan make me a pair
sold.
less. I had her make me a pair a couple 2 years ago. And then I had her make me a set of earrings, beaded Christmas earrings for my sister and my cousin. So
because you're more of you like the more like simple stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, and so I've already made 4 sales. Granted, they were people that I know, but I'm really hoping that it gets it like out. And so one of my coworkers wants me to she has a mother-daughter gathering at her house for like her sister. And so she wants me to make some stuff for that. But yes, I bought some more beads to make some Christmassy stuff coming up.
Nice.
So
yeah, that'll be perfect as we're getting into the time. And I'm sure craft fairs that are coming up. I've already been looking at different ones to go to.
I have too. And I need to just pull the trigger on a couple because
There's a lady that I found on TikTok. I know every sentence should start with that, but
it should.
I found this. I just was scrolling through lives one day, and this woman came up, and I can't remember. I'm sorry, lady, I can't remember her name.
She's probably here.
She's watching. I'm sure on Twitch right now, but she runs. I sent it to both of you. She runs a chocolate shop.
Yes,
candy shop.
Osseo.
Yes, in Osseo.
Osseo.
And I want to say her name was Erica. I'm probably wrong. But anyway.
I followed her.
She followed me right back. So now every time I see your stuff, it says, you're a friend. And I'm like,
yes, I do. Yep.
So sweet.
Did
you see she just did a thing about a craft fair she was at?
She was in Egan.
Yeah, in Egan.
Yep.
And she showed this whole craft fair. And I was like, Megan, you need to be at that craft fair.
I know, but it's so far, that's so far south.
I know. It's
I
far
work in
away.
Inver Grove
I don't
Heights every
necessarily
day.
mean Egan.
That's terrible. What's terrible?
Yep.
She works in Inver Grove Heights and she lives in Shoreview. That's like a 40-minute drive.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I drive it. I know the distance.
I drive it every day.
It's 17 miles. It is about a 22-minute drive in the morning and maybe 40 in the evening with traffic.
See, I was right for 40. I was right.
How is it when it's
with traffic?
I didn't specify without. I just said that's 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
So technically
Which
I was
is why
right.
it coming over here during the week is difficult because even traffic today coming over from Shoreview. Oh,
Well,
there was
694 is always, especially
694 is terrible.
Especially
between
when you
Fridley and Brooklyn Park.
Every damn day, every time, it's always like, where are you going? What? Yes, every day you slow. It could be 3 a.m. It's going to be terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, when we were driving, I think it was when we were going out to Jenny and you drove me out there and we were on some random highway. I don't
694 probably.
694. Yep. And I was like, It was like a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And I'm like, why is it so fucking busy?
Yep.
And you said it's like this all
the time.
So that is why, like, for me,
this is why I don't leave my house.
Happy to come out here later in the week, like when I work from home on days. But if I'm working in the office, because I've done that too, where I've come out here after working from the office, and it was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
With traffic.
That's rough.
So.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
All right, we should wrap up.
Yep.
Because I gotta head home.
Wrap
John's
it
been
up.
with Jordan all day.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to stop streaming. I don't know if anybody is actually there or if we are actually streaming because I can't tell. And my associate producer
That's so
didn't
weird.
come down to help us. So, bye, everybody. The TAC Sideshow episodes are, well, the sideshow to our main event, The Activity Continues, where we recap episodes of the Dead Files TV show. Since we spend a lot of time going off the rails anyway, we thought we'd just release these parts separately for those who like hearing friends chat about any and every topic, sometimes paranormal, sometimes not. We hope you enjoyed this show. We will see you next week.